Reed's family received conflicting information and deserves answers. And singer David has canceled his U.S. tour after the dismembered remains of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez were found in his Tesla. The teen had been missing for over a year. Police searched David's home and say he's cooperating, but no suspect has been named. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Both of LA's NFL teams had drama Sunday on the last play of the game. The Chargers got the W. The Rams did not. The Rams had a chance to win it in Philadelphia with 3 seconds left. Eagles defensive end Jordan Davis blocked Joshua Carter's 44-yard field goal attempt, then scooped up the loose ball and ran 61 yards for a touchdown. The Rams lost 33-26. They led the defending Super Bowl champions 26-7 in the third quarter. The Chargers are one of 6 undefeated teams in the NFL. They got a 43-yard field goal at the buzzer from Cameron Dicker to get past Denver 23-20 at SoFi. The Chargers are 3-0 for the first time since 2002. The Dodgers lead San Diego by 3 games in the NL West with 6 regular season games remaining. The Dodgers' magic number is down to 3. Any combination of 3 Dodgers wins or a San Diego loss gives the Dodgers their 12th division title in 13 years. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready to be a part of the conversation that will help shape our nation's future? Get ready to join us for the Left Coast Forum, Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech, where progressive voices will come together to tackle the issues that matter most to working families across Los Angeles and beyond. From economic justice to climate action, from healthcare to housing, we're bringing together the brightest minds and most passionate advocates for real solutions and real change. With workshops, 2 major keynote addresses, and a closing reception with great music and good food. It's the Left Coast Forum, where your voice matters and your ideas take action. Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the LA Progressive. The future won't wait, and neither should you. Mark your calendar now to be there and be heard. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details.
It's Alabama by John Coltrane, which kicks off the second hour of today's program. It's Monday, so it must be time for Smiley and West. I'm pleased to have Dr. Cornel West on this program every Monday and Thursday at the top of the second hour. Doc, it's your walk-on song today. Tell me why.
Well, my dear brother, tomorrow would have been the 99th birthday of the great John Coltrane. That song, Alabama, which is partly grounded in the rhythmic inflections of Martin Luther King Jr.'s eulogy for the 4 precious girls killed in 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, was the greatest lament, the greatest song, the greatest artistic expression of profound mourning and grief and hurt that we know, not just in American culture, I think in some ways in the modern world. So that same John Coltrane who could compose and produce a Love Supreme, with McCoy on the piano and Elvin Jones playing those drums and Jimmy Garrison playing that double bass, the same Coltrane got Love Supreme on the one hand, Alabama on the other. And we had a moment where we have to come to terms with our grief and grieving, to come to terms with our mourning. But what does John Coltrane do? He goes back to the Negro spirituals and he transforms the mourning with a U to joy in the morning, MORNIG. And that interplay between mourning in the night and joy in the morning is what keeps us going. And John Coltrane understood that. So did Elvin, so did Jimmy, so did McCoy, so have so many other great musicians, artists, freedom fighters, love warriors, joy spreaders.
Turn it up, Miles. Turn it up. John Coltrane's Alabama. Dr. West always chooses his walk-on music, and it's John Coltrane today in advance of his 99th natal day tomorrow. So I mentioned at the top of the show today, I actually saw Dr. West this weekend. We were here together in California. He was back home in California for a celebration, a surprise celebration for his brother, Clifton West. And if you have read Dr. West's memoir, Brother West, you have an understanding then of how close he is to his big brother Clifton. It is his brother Cliff who taught him how to read. So it was Cliff that put Doc on the path to being the scholar that he is and all this richness that he shares with us every Monday and Thursday on this program. So we were together for a surprise celebration for Big Cliff, as I call him, Big Cliff's 75th birthday. Doc, you want to say a quick word about Big Cliff while we push forward here?
No, I don't have a language, but to have you there, of course, my beloved wife, Anna Heath, to have Cynthia and Cheryl there, Eddie Hart, the fastest human being in the world in 1972 with a gold medal from the Olympics. It was a sublime experience, and it was really about a love supreme. A lot of tears flowing, but those were tears of joy, though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and
indeed.
Brother, for you to go up and back the same day, man, good God Almighty.
No,
oh, I love you.
No, it was a joy.
To my brother.
No, it was a joy to be there. I'm celebrating Cliff, and this West family has meant so much to me over the years. So it's not just Dr. West I know, but his entire family. All C's: Cliff, Cornel, Cheryl, and Cynthia. And I had a great time. Had a great time with them celebrating them over celebrating Cliff and the entire family, for that matter, over the weekend. But as I said earlier, because we were together, Doc and I had some rich dialogue over the weekend, and in the Trump era. It is the case, of course, there's always breaking news. And so Doc and I had some deep dialogue that I want to reprise as best as we can. I wish I just recorded it live in real time and played it back for you. But we were talking about and I will put it this way, the ways in which, and I mean that plural, the ways in which the deification of Charlie Kirk, you all saw it yesterday. I'm going to play some sound for you from Stephen Miller in just a second here, after I play you some Van Jones, in case you missed it. But we were talking about the ways in which the deification of Charlie Kirk is leading to a certain kind of marginalization and ultimately, I think, a normalization of anti-Blackness. And I wish it were just Van Jones. I wish it were just Stephen Miller. I wish it were just J.D. Vance. But it's Gavin Newsom, it's Ezra Klein, it's Sally Jenkins. It's a whole bunch of folk on the left who are normalizing, marginalizing Black life in America. Democrats who rely on our votes. Black folk make up the most loyal base in the Democratic Party. And it's as if when they tweet or talk about Charlie Kirk, they don't acknowledge the anti-Blackness, the rhetoric that came out of his mouth repeatedly over years. Here's Van Jones.
Hey guys, I've decided I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna share something personal that I wasn't sure I was gonna share, but I think it's important. Charlie Kirk and I were not friends at all. In fact, the last week of his life, we were beefing hard, beefing online, beefing on air. But the day before he died, he did something that shocked me. He sent me a personal message calling for personal dialogue, wanted me to come on his show. He said we could be gentlemen together. He said we could deal with our disagreements agreeably. And in the past week and a half, just watching people talk about civil wars and censorship and all this stuff coming out of his death, I just thought it was important to let people know, don't put that on Charlie Kirk, because the last day of his life, he was reaching out to have not more censorship, more conversation, more dialogue with somebody who honestly was one of his adversaries, me. And I just want to share that with the world. And I hope that maybe it might help somebody on both sides deal with issues more like he did.
I've known Van Jones for years. I've always known Van to be a bright guy. You can't deny his intellect. And yet I was so disturbed by those words from Van. And let me just read one message. I see all kind of messages from listeners. Let me just read one right quick. It's obvious, Tavis, from the text, that dude being Charlie Kirk, that dude was just playing him to get him on the show. Charlie Kirk was playing Van Jones to get him on his show for views and clicks. And Van reads that as a genuine dialogue. He's dumb. Or maybe he's just desperate for relevance with the red base. There's that word desperate again. That's just one comment. There are a whole lot of them out there. But I want to hear the commentary from Cornel West about Van and these other Democrats who wittingly or unwittingly are marginalizing and normalizing anti-blackness. You're listening to Cornel West on Tavis.
Interrogating and unpacking. That's what we do around here. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Hey, KBLA 1580 delegation, your health matters to us. We know that information is power, especially when it comes to prevention and treatment. That's why we're proud to introduce the brand new KBLA Health and Wellness Hub. This online space is built just for you, connecting our community to trusted health resources, culturally relevant care, and even access to diverse clinical trials and emerging therapies. Whether you're looking for information on common conditions, mental health support, or just want to stay on top of your wellness journey, we got you. And the best part, it's all on our website at kbla1580.com. Accessible, empowering, community-focused. So just go to kbla1580.com and click on the Health and Wellness Hub icon, because knowledge is power and your health is everything. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
Nearly 7 million Americans aged 65 and older are living with Alzheimer's disease or AD. But did you know that Black adults aged 65 and older are twice as likely as white adults to develop AD? You may be able to reduce your risk by managing conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure, being physically active, eating healthy, and exercising your mind. To learn more about AD, the importance of early diagnosis and intervention, and a potential treatment option, visit treatalzearly.com. That's treatalzearly.com. This message is brought to you by AZI.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. We've all had that epic rideshare experience. Halfway through the trip, you know their heartbreak, their career path, and they know your aspirations to go find yourself in Portugal. It's human. We're all looking for connection, for someone to listen. But sometimes the people we spill our hearts to aren't exactly equipped to help us through it. With over a decade of data-backed experience from helping millions of people, BetterHelp matches you with a therapist based on your needs and goals. No asking for recommendations or endless scrolling through listings. Simply answer a few questions online and you'll be matched with a therapist, often in as little as 48 hours. Join over 5 million people worldwide who've trusted BetterHelp for their mental health and well-being. Get a therapist who gets you. Visit BetterHelp.com/ABC Radio to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/ABC Radio.
Less monologue, more dialogue. Tavis Smiley continues right now.
All right, Dr. West. I saw Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, I think on Meet the Press this weekend, sort of normalizing this. I read some other names. I don't have time to read all the quotes from Gavin Newsom and Sally Jenkins and everybody else. But just talk to me about the ways in which we see even folk on the left just sort of normalizing this anti-blackness, as it were.
Yeah, I think part of the problem, though, Brother Tavis, is that people tend to not have the ability to speak simultaneously to both fronts.
Mm-hmm.
There's a spiritual and there's a moral front where you always stay in contact with the humanity, even of your foes, adversaries, and enemies. And therefore, somebody dies, of course you're concerned about the family. Of course you're concerned about a human being made in the image and likeness of a loving God. There's a political front in terms of what was said and the legacy of that person who died. So that when, for example, Sister Erica Kirk talked about forgiveness, hey, it's a powerful moment. I forgive my enemies. Why? Because I don't want to return hate with hate. And you say, okay, well, let's look at the actions of Brother Charlie, your beloved husband.
Mm.
Did he return hate with hate? Well, in some instances, absolutely he did. What did he say about George Floyd Jr.? Come back. George Floyd Jr.'s family is just as precious as Kirk's family. I don't see any deep forgiveness, love flowing in those words at all. Same is true with Martin King. He's an awful person. No, he embodies the love that you needed to be inculcating, and that Erica was trying to refer to when she said, I want to love in the face of hate. Martin King said the same thing. Both of them, of course, trying to follow Jesus in their own ways. So that what happens is these politicians come along. They don't want to accent the spiritual and the moral in the way that they should. They want to say something strategic and tactical that ends up downplaying some of the very ugly things that Charlie Kirk said. If you oppose the Civil Rights Act and you say it's a huge mistake, that makes you pro-Jim Crow. That makes you pro-Jane Crow. That makes you believe that Black people should not have civil rights, let alone voting rights. Well, what is that? Well, that's fascist. We got to call it for what it is. And so it's hard for these politicians to deal with the spiritual moral front and the political front. They're not exactly the same thing at all, but they do overlap. So you can empathize with the humanity of Charlie Kirk and his family, but you can tell the truth about his words and his deeds. As you know, I was on his professor's watch list, right?
Yes.
That was the first thing he started with. These are the people that we got to keep track of. They're lying, they're bringing down America and so forth. Now, as you know, when Brother Robbie and I started the campaign for our book, Truth Matters, about 9 months ago, you were the first show that we had. We had a magnificent time, which Charlie Kirk asked us to be on the show. We went on the show. We had a dialogue. There ain't no doubt about that. We had actually, you and Charlie were two of the few who actually read the book in terms of the dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
We had a dialogue. So when Van talks, well, I got a call. No, we actually had a dialogue. It was about the book. But in dealing with the book, it was clear that Brother Robbie and I were also attempting to bring some kind of pressure on the brother. And it's true. You listen to Sister Candace Owen, it's clear that Charlie Kirk was undergoing some changes at the end of his life, especially his criticisms of Netanyahu and Israel.
Mm-hmm.
So at 31, it's hard to know where he would have ended up at 41 or 51. But up until 31,
yeah,
brother, that anti-blackness language and rhetoric was there. Look at the attack on Sister Michelle Obama and Joy Reid, let alone the brilliant Chief Justice Jackson saying they got brain prophecy for the less than. No, that's sick stuff, brother.
yeah.
That's sick stuff, man.
So that's what I'm pushing toward. How then do black people, as we all know, and as I intimated earlier, those same black folk who make up the most loyal base of the Democratic Party, how do we process Democrat politicians, Democrat pundits, and others who are smart enough, who know better? See, I when you use the word downplaying, and I don't, that word jumped out at me because I don't think that Gavin Newsom and Van Jones and Josh Shapiro and all these other names I could run, I don't think they're so ignorant of the truth of what Charlie Kirk has been saying. So then it's a decision. You use the word downplaying, use the word tactical. I can accept both of those words, but it's more to me than just downplaying. It's more to me than just a tactical decision. I mean, so my question is, how then do we, black people in particular, accept, process the downplaying of anti-blackness that these folks ought to know better? They ought to know better, Doc, and they keep doing it.
Yeah. No, it's true. But what language would you use, though, brother, beyond downplaying and tactical? Just because they're not ignorant, like you rightly say. Are they just running scared? Are they?
Well, yeah, you know my frame.
How would we account for?
Yeah, you know my frame. Either you're running scared or you're running free. That's
yeah,
that's my frame. I think it's hard to not see it, and this is some strong language. But you asked, I'm going to answer you honestly. I think it's hard to see it as anything other than a devaluation of black life.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to read it any other way.
No, for me, my brother.
Yeah.
When I say downplay and tactical,
right,
that presupposes the reality in their minds that at this particular moment, black folk don't count. They don't matter.
Got it.
You see what I mean? They're not part of the mechanism that ought to be highlighted, so it's downplayed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I hear exactly what you're saying. But it's typical, man, because, there is a massive spinelessness that's shot through the Democratic Party. There's no doubt about that. And it has to do with a visionlessness. It has to do with a effectlessness that's there. And it means then that they're able to downplay tactically and thereby demean and devalue the largest group that supports their party, who are black people and especially black women, and the attack on black women coming out of the mouth of Brother Charlie Kirk needed to be highlighted.
Yeah, and that's troubling for me that Shapiro and Newsom and others can, say what they've said, but not point any light on that. So it's just a lopsided critique that's absent any real truth telling, and that again leads me to believe that it's just another example of the devaluation of black life. Let me pause for a second. Here's Donald Trump, just a short clip of Donald Trump at this memorial service yesterday. Take a listen.
He did not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erica. But now Erica can talk to me and the whole group, and maybe they can convince me that that's not right, but I can't stand my opponent. Charlie's angry. Looking down, he's angry at me now.
See that nonsense what do you say, Doc? What do you say about that, man?
No, he's an honest gangster, though. He's consistent in his gangsterizing and thugifying of the country, though. So in that sense, if he had got up there and said, I really love my opponent, he'd have been lying.
Yeah.
Now, he lies all the time. This is one of the few times he was not lying.
Yeah.
He was really confronted with a love ethic, and he said, look, I don't love. I'm not a lover. I'm a hater now. And I'm even going to tell Charlie and Erica. Erica just stood there with tears and said, you can't fight hate with hate, only with love. I forgive the person who killed my husband. he still came with his hate. Those hate is real, but it's not just him. It's shot through his administration.
It is shot.
Yes.
It is shot through his administration. Here's some sound now from Stephen Miller at that memorial yesterday.
To those trying to incite violence against us, those trying to foment hatred against us, what do you have? You have nothing. You are nothing. You are wickedness. You are jealousy. You are envy. You are hatred. You are nothing. You can build nothing. You can produce nothing. You can create nothing. We are the ones who build. We are the ones who create. We are the ones who lift up humanity. You thought you could kill Charlie Kirk? You have made him immortal. You have immortalized Charlie Kirk. And now millions will carry on his legacy. And we will devote the rest of our lives to finishing the causes for which Charlie gave his last measure of devotion. You cannot defeat us. You cannot slow us. You cannot stop us. You cannot deter us. We will carry Charlie and Erica in our heart every single day and fight that much harder because of what you did to us. You have no idea the dragon you have awakened. You have no idea how determined we will be to save this civilization, to save the West, to save this republic. Because our children are strong, and our grandchildren will be strong, and our children's children's children will be strong. And what will you leave behind? Nothing. Nothing.
That's some sick stuff, Doc. That's just, it's just sick, man.
It is. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's just unadulterated hate, and it has. You could see the fascist dimension shot through it, with no space whatsoever for acknowledgement of the humanity of others who disagree with you. It's Manichaean. All the good is on my side, all the evil's on the other, and you are to be crushed. I mean, that's what fascist ideology is in terms of its attempt to dehumanize others in order to crush them. And you can see it, you can see it with the genocide, the Palestinians. Netanyahu's language is the same. You see it in Hungary with Urban. I mean, it's a human thing too, though, brother. I mean, fascism is human, man. Yeah. Fascism is human. It's sick, spiritually sick, morally sick. You're absolutely right.
I mentioned these names earlier. Let me give you just remind you why I am saying and why Doc is saying this is some dangerous, sick stuff that is marginalizing and normalizing anti-blackness. Ezra Klein said he dubbed Kirk one of the era's most effective practitioners of persuasion, a man who was practicing politics in exactly the right way. That's Ezra Klein, y'all. Gavin Newsom has hailed Kirk's passion and commitment to debate. He advises us to continue Kirk's work by engaging with each other across ideology through spirited discourse. That's Gavin Newsom, y'all. Atlantic writer Sally Jenkins claimed he argued with civility. That's Sally Jenkins, y'all. I ain't got time. I got to stop, but I could do this all day long. I just want to, again, to underscore that this is what happens when folk on the left, Josh Shapiro, check him out on Meet the Press yesterday. Just listen to what these folk are saying. And the way that they, I repeat, are normalizing this kind of anti-blackness. And we wonder how we get in this mess and why racism is still the most intractable issue in this country. Last word to you, Dr. West.
Well, you just flipped the script, and we were talking about this weekend. If there was a black man who died, who believed that white folks should never have civil rights, let alone voting rights, who believed that white women's brain processes are such that the white women on the Supreme Court didn't belong there, it was just DEI, that black man would be demonized and vilified forever.
Yeah.
So all you do is flip the script, and you see how deep white supremacy still operates in the country, my brother.
Yeah, I said this other day, Doc, you weren't on that day, but I said it, let me repeat it very quickly. Quoting my friend Cornel West, every one of us eventually has to do that dance with mortality. We all do a dance with mortality. We love our brother, the Minister Farrakhan. I can tell you right now, the minute he takes his last breath, it's going to be a very different playbook.
Oh, no doubt about that.
Could be a very different
No
playbook.
doubt about that, folks.
I'm just telling you, I don't want to see the brother minister take his last breath, but all of us have to go that way. Ain't none of us getting out of here alive. I'm just putting it on the record right now. Let's see what they say when the brother minister takes his last breath. I digress on that for now. Dr. West, appreciate you. Love you much, man. We'll do it again on Thursday.
Love you, love you, love you. Stay strong, my brother.
More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
For all the freedom-loving folk, this is Tavis Smiley.
I feel like
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Black former Trump administration Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Dr. Ben Carson, honored Charlie Kirk at his memorial in Arizona, calling the conservative activist brilliant and fearless.
I want us all to remember, you cannot be the land of the free if you're not the home of the brave. You got to stand up for what you believe in.
Kirk, 31, was shot and killed earlier this month while speaking at a Utah rally. Former Vice President Kamala Harris sits down with MSNBC's Rachel Maddow tonight for her first major interview since the 2024 election. She's on a press tour promoting her memoir, 107 Days. And students at Atlanta's Best Academy just made history as the nation's first all-black high school polo team. They debuted Sunday at the Atlanta Polo Party, thanks to designer Miguel Wilson's Ride to the Olympics Foundation. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Both of LA's NFL teams had drama Sunday on the last play of the game. The Chargers got the W. The Rams did not. The Rams had a chance to win it in Philadelphia with 3 seconds left. Eagles defensive end Jordan Davis blocked Joshua Carter's 44-yard field goal attempt, then scooped up the loose ball and ran 61 yards for a touchdown. The Rams lost 33-26. They led the defending Super Bowl champions 26-7 in the third quarter. The Chargers are one of 6 undefeated teams in the NFL. They got a 43-yard field goal at the buzzer from Cameron Dicker to get past Denver 23-20 at SoFi. The Chargers are 3-0 for the first time since 2002. The Dodgers lead San Diego by 3 games in the NL West with 6 regular season games remaining. The Dodgers' magic number is down to 3. Any combination of 3 Dodgers wins or a San Diego loss gives the Dodgers their 12th division title in 13 years. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the voice of reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know the United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time? Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
More honesty than you can handle. More empowerment than you can imagine. You're tuned in to Tavis Smiley.
Loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful. Making love with you is all I wanna do. Loving you is more than just a dream come true. And everything that I do is out of loving you. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
I'm Tavis Smiley. Glad to have you with us in this hour. We are pushing toward our final hour today in just about 30 minutes or so, a little less than 30 minutes, and we will have a tribute to the late, great Minnie Riperton, 40 years after her untimely death at just 31 years of age. We'll be joined by her widower, Richard Rudolph, and producer Robin Burgess to talk about an all-star tribute called Perfect Angel, the definitive Minnie Riperton tribute. So we look forward to giving Minnie Riperton some love in our final hour today. In this half hour, I am delighted to have a conversation with Amanda Litman, who's co-founder and president of Run for Something. Love that name, Run for Something, explaining why she's focused on recruiting young, diverse progressives, that is, to run in down-ballot races. Amanda, good to have you on. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
If I complained, I'd be an ingrate. I'm doing well, and thank you for coming on the program. Let me just start with this. Tell me about the organization Run for Something, and we'll jump from there.
So Run for Something recruits and supports young, diverse leaders running for local office all across the country. We got our start back in 2017, thinking this would be really small. We'd have maybe 100 people who wanted to run for office in the first year. Instead, about 8.5 years in, we have nearly 230,000 young people all across the country who've raised their hands to say they want to run. We've endorsed more than 3,000 and helped elect 1,600 folks across 49 states in DC, all young people, all to offices like school board, city council, and state legislature.
The right figured this out a long time ago, as you well know, Amanda Litman, but tell me why local office is so important.
Part of it is quite practical. Local offices make a huge difference in your day-to-day life. Things about how good your school is, how clean your water is to drink, how well your streets are paved, how easy or hard it is to open a business. That's all shaped by people on the local level. Politically, these local offices really determine whether or not we can win at higher office. We're seeing this right now with redistricting and voter suppression laws. They come from state legislatures. Elections are administered at often the township or the county level. So getting pro-democracy, competent people in these offices makes a big difference. It's also where we get our talent from. Most senators, most governors, most presidents, with few current exceptions, come from long careers in public service. They get their start as state senators or county executives. They really, you grow your talent locally. It's how you become good at this, how you build the relationships and the skills. So our theory of the case here is if you get better people into local office, you'll get better people into higher office.
Before you came on, I was just in a conversation with our friend and brother Cornel West, and we were talking in large measure about so many politicians these days, even Democrats right now in this Charlie Kirk era, who are disappointing us in a variety of ways. I don't want to pull you into that, but my point is I was just offering some commentary about how disappointed I am in some of these even Democrat elected officials, say nothing of the right, which leads me to ask how then you recruit servant leaders. I make a distinction, as I'm sure you do, Amanda, I hope you do. I make a distinction between a politician and a public servant. They're not the same thing. And what we were talking about before you came on were a bunch of politicians who I think are failing us in this moment in their rhetoric, if nothing else. Politicians, but public servants, that's a different thing. I still believe that public service is a noble profession. But I want to make sure we're recruiting the kind of servant leaders. We want them to run for something, but we need to be recruiting the right kind of servant leaders. How do you go about doing that part, if that makes sense to you?
Yeah, I agree with you. We want people who want to run to do something, not just to be something.
There
want
you
people
go.
who really,
There you go.
yeah, you want to who are in it for the right reasons, who understand their communities, who have a problem they want to solve, can identify the office that gives them the power to solve it, and then can really answer the question of why their voters should want them to win, which is different than why you want to win. You want to win because winning is great and losing sucks. Voters are going to want you to win because you're going to do something for them. You're going to deliver for them. You're going to make their life better or protect them from harm. You're going to fight for them. For us, we really think about finding people who are rooted in community, who have ties to the places they're running, who understand the problems their neighbors are facing, and most importantly, are willing to do the work to listen and go out and talk to those neighbors and have conversations with them, really build those relationships that can move the needle in such a meaningful way. Because I'm with you, I'm disappointed by current Democratic leadership. I think we need, throw the bums out, for lack of a better word, and try and bring in a whole new generation of folks who really understand the crisis that we're in, and that we got to reimagine the way we're going to solve it.
In so many ways in this country, diversity is just people pay lip service to that. And these days, not even lip service. Donald Trump, as we all know, has a whole campaign against anything that is DE&I, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So it's not even lip service anymore. I want to just make sure, though, that those of us who truly care about these issues are doing more than just paying lip service to it. So how do we go about not just recruiting servant leaders, but diverse servant leaders?
So Run for Something has really always been committed to this. Diversity, equity, inclusion are both a moral good and also a practical good. We know diverse teams get better outcomes. We need government to be more diverse. We want it to work better. So more than half of Run for Something's candidates are leaders of color. More than half identify as women, about a third specifically as women of color, about a quarter as LGBTQ plus, and about 60% from working class or low class incomes or low income backgrounds, as they tell us. And it is just folks who do live totally ordinary lives until they decide to do the extraordinary thing of running for office.
Running for office is not cheap these days, as you well know, and I am chagrined at times. I look at all the ways in which billionaires not just put their thumb on the scale, but indeed some of them buy offices for themselves. How once you recruit these diverse servant leaders, can they afford to run, even for local office?
It's so hard, and I don't ever want to BS anyone. It's expensive, but it's not as expensive as you'd think for most of these positions. 75% of school board races cost $1,000 or less. 85% cost $5,000 or less. Yeah, there's some that are really, really pricey, and obviously, really competitive state ledge races can reach the millions. But the average Run for Something candidate has a budget of about $10,000, and you're not funding it yourself. You're not writing checks for your campaign literature. You are asking your friends, your family, the people in your community to invest in their community. I like to tell folks fundraising is, I sometimes joke, an act of public service in that you are asking people and giving them an opportunity to make the place they live better. You're giving them a way to really channel their energy, channel their fury. I think one of the things that we have seen so much over the last decade or so is that when times get really hard, when there's a crisis, people are willing to be generous. They are willing to give to help solve a problem. By running for local office, you are a vehicle to solve a problem. And I think that can be really powerful.
When young progressives look at someone like Zoran Mandami in New York City and they see the pushback he's getting from the Democratic Party establishment, how do you convince them that they're running matters, that they will be embraced, that they will be supported, that they'll be mentored when they see the way he's being treated in New York City? That's the question for Amanda Litman, who is the co-founder and president of Run for Something When We Come Forward on Tavis Smiley.
From Leimert Park with love, this is Tavis Smiley.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Dr. Nicolai Corte. Let's preserve Black land stories before they're lost forever. I want to personally invite you to be a part of something historic. As journalist in residence for the Black Land Lost Narrative Archive Project, I've joined forces with powerhouse attorney and social justice champion George Fothery, the man who helped make history by delivering justice to the Bruce family in Manhattan Beach, securing the first known return of land unjustly taken from Black owners by a local government. That victory was monumental, but it was just the beginning. For generations, Black families have acquired land through grit, faith, and determination, only to lose it through violence, legal loopholes, forced sales, and systematic racism. What's been taken goes far beyond dirt and deeds. It's the erasure of wealth, identity, and legacy. That's why we've launched the Black Land Lost Narrative Archive Project, a national effort to collect, protect, and preserve the stories of Black land lost before they're buried, forgotten, or erased altogether. Because there's power in telling Black stories, there is resistance in remembering, and there's justice in being seen and heard. This is where you come in. We're inviting you to be a part of this historic Black narrative archive. If you or someone you know has experienced land loss, displacement, or forced property sales, your story deserves to be heard and remembered. Your story belongs in this archive. Your truth matters not just to your family, but to our collective future. Visit blacklandlost.org today. Fill out our simple intake form and add your voice to the National Archive of Remembrance, Resilience, and Reckoning. Let's make these stories live on, not in whispers, but on the record. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Dr. Nicolai Corte, and as always, we welcome your feedback.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number and put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Helping to make you the most knowledgeable person in your circle of friends. This is Tavis Smiley.
Yesterday, I endorsed Zoran Mandami. I've made it very clear that we have differences, but I also believe that he brings a sense of optimism and the can-do spirit, a positivity that I believe our city needs at this time. I do not agree with many of his views, but running a state government or a city government is very different. It's about making sure that the garbage gets picked up, the streets are safe. You deal with homelessness, you deal with subway safety, which I've focused on intensely. So yeah, I disagree with many statements, and I've said that. But also, I believe that we need someone who's going to be open-minded and optimistic and have an attitude, a can-do attitude that I share about knowing that the city's best days still do lie ahead.
What kind of endorsement is that? That is the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, one of the few Democratic establishment members who has come out publicly to endorse him. But even in her endorsement, did you hear how many I counted 4 times? I disagree with him on many things, but I endorse him. I don't agree with him, but I endorse him. We don't agree, but I endorse him. I think he's wrong, but I endorse 4 freaking times in that 1 50-second clip. She's endorsing him, but she's saying, but I don't agree with him. So she's couching and hedging. I don't know what kind of endorsement that is. The New York Democratic chairman has said publicly he's not going to endorse Mamdani. And we're still waiting on Schumer and Jeffries. The establishment has not rallied around this guy. And you're telling me that you want folk to run for something when the Democratic Party won't even embrace him. Amanda, your turn.
I think it is so stupid of these Democratic leaders not to endorse him. It is doing such damage to the Democratic Party's brand. You know, we had a primary, fair and square. I'm a New York City voter. I voted in that primary, so did hundreds of thousands of other New Yorkers. And Mamdani won it. Not by a small amount either. He handily won it. And for them to say that they know better than Democratic primary voters, that they need to still, you know, do their research, keep having conversations, drag their feet, it is so insulting. And it does so much harm to the party. And they don't need, like, they don't, rather, I should say this, Mamdani doesn't need them anymore. I want them to endorse him because I want them to, you know, show that they stand behind the Democratic Party voters. But the establishment is out of juice. They cannot move voters. They cannot move money. They do not have the power they think they do. And I think it is just going to be another nail in their metaphorical coffin.
Let me just ask you point blank, what kind of response Run for Something has seen from young progressives interested in running for office since Mamdani's primary success in New York City?
You know, in the 2 weeks after Mamdani won back in June, we had more than 10,000 people sign up to run for office. Wow. It was our biggest organic candidate recruitment surge in the history of the organization. Huge, huge numbers.
And how do you read that? What does that mean?
I think young people looked around and saw him win and saw someone who was so values driven, so voters first, so authentically himself, communicating where we are, where we're online, and who really came up against the establishment and beat them. Seeing him win makes people think, hey, I could do this too. Maybe someone like me can run and win too. I think that is so inspiring. And even if many of them maybe don't agree with him on 100% of the issues, nor should they, they're not running for mayor of New York City like he is. They don't have to. They're looking at him and thinking, how else can I adapt this style and this substance to bring solutions to where I live?
Our remaining moments with Amanda Litman, co-founder and president of Run for Something, when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Helping to stretch your moral and political imagination. This is Tavis Smiley. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, Black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. Benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
Made fresh daily in Leimert Park, Los Angeles, California. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Amanda Litman, who is a co-founder and president of Run for Something. Just a few minutes left in this conversation with her. Tell me what you hope years from now, this kind of effort, encouraging young progressives to run for office, what kind of outcome do you expect this to yield?
You know, we've already got 5 members of Congress who came through our pipeline. Looking ahead to 2026, we've got at least 4 folks running for governor, 4 running for U.S. Senate, a couple dozen running for House or higher office. My expectation is that in, if not 2028, 2032, or 2036, there will be folks running for president and winning who got their start because Run for Something asked them to run. And they will show up with their values first. They will show up authentically. They will show up with joy and optimism and a whole new idea of what could be coming and how to rebuild from the ashes we're currently stuck in. And I am just so excited for that light at the end of this very bleak tunnel.
Yeah. And what do you think happens to, or can in fact happen to or for our experiment in democracy when those progressive views become more hegemonic, shall we say?
You know, I think it's going to keep shifting what it means to be a progressive, but I do hope we will reach a point where, you know, as more folks like from this Run for Something pipeline and community take office and really lead, they do things like pass paid family leave, pass universal child care, make it work for folks, pass universal health care, make public education stronger, that we will have the kind of social safety nets that make it possible for people to, you know, dream again. And I think one of the things we were talking about Mamdani a little bit earlier, one of the things his campaign did so well, and part of the reason I think it spoke especially to young people, was not just that we could afford to live, but that we could afford to dream, that you could have ambition again, that you could imagine a better life for yourself, not feel so stuck in this moment. I think that is what is so exciting to me about what the next generation of Democratic leadership could be offering.
Have you found that those who, shall we say, those who are more chronologically gifted are intimidated or threatened by this recruiting of young progressives to run for office?
Yeah, they're definitely a little wary. You know, they like it in theory, not so much when we're coming for them, which I can understand. But I also think we are at this moment in time where the crisis is too urgent to be delicate about people's feelings or their ego. You know, I think every older leader, and I've called for this quite publicly, every older Democrat over the age of 70 should make this their last term. They should retire. They should go out on a high note and create space for the new leaders. If they don't, they should expect to be primaried and have to affirmatively make the case for why they are the best leader to fight for us in this moment. And I think with very few exceptions, almost none of them could credibly argue that right now.
Her name is Amanda Litman, co-founder and president of Run for Something. And I appreciate this conversation about how focused they are on recruiting young, diverse progressives, if I can say it, to run in down ballot races all across the country. Amanda, thank you for your work and witness. Good to have you on this program.
Thank you for having me. Always a good time to chat.
Thank you. When we come forward, a tribute for the next hour to the late, great Minnie Riperton. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
So come shining through. And every time that I'm more in love with you. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, do 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 do. No one else can make me feel the colors that you bring.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Black former Trump administration Secretary of Housing and Urban Development Dr. Ben Carson honored Charlie Kirk at his memorial in Arizona, calling the conservative activist brilliant and fearless.
I want us all to remember, you cannot be the land of the free if you're not the home of the brave. You got to stand up for what you believe in.
Kirk, 31, was shot and killed earlier this month while speaking at a Utah rally. Former Vice President Kamala Harris sits down with MSNBC's Rachel Maddow tonight for her first major interview since the 2024 election. She's on a press tour promoting her memoir, 107 Days. And students at Atlanta's Best Academy just made history as the nation's first all-black high school polo team. They debuted Sunday at the Atlanta Polo Party thanks to designer Miguel Wilson's Ride to the Olympics Foundation. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Both of LA's NFL teams had drama Sunday on the last play of the game. The Chargers got the W. The Rams did not. The Rams had a chance to win it in Philadelphia with 3 seconds left. Eagles defensive end Jordan Davis blocked Joshua Carter's 44-yard field goal attempt, then scooped up the loose ball and ran 61 yards for a touchdown. The Rams lost 33-26. They led the defending Super Bowl champions 26-7 in the third quarter. The Chargers are one of 6 undefeated teams in the NFL. They got a 43-yard field goal at the buzzer from Cameron Dicker to get past Denver 23-20 at SoFi. The Chargers are 3-0 for the first time since 2002. The Dodgers lead San Diego by 3 games in the NL West with 6 regular season games remaining. The Dodgers' magic number is down to 3. Any combination of 3 Dodgers wins or a San Diego loss gives the Dodgers their 12th division title in 13 years. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready to be a part of the conversation that will help shape our nation's future? Get ready to join us for the Left Coast Forum, Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech, where progressive voices will come together to tackle the issues that matter most to working families across Los Angeles and beyond. From economic justice to climate action, from healthcare to housing, we're bringing together the brightest minds and most passionate advocates for real solutions and real change. With workshops, 2 major keynote addresses, and a closing reception with great music and good food. It's the Left Coast Forum, where your voice matters and your ideas take action. Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the LA Progressive. The future won't wait, and neither should you. Mark your calendar now to be there and be heard. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details.